Hi everyone, welcome to English 221. As I mentioned before, my name is Stacy Miller. You can call me Prof. Miller. Professor Miller makes me sound older than I am, so Prof. Miller is good. Ms. Miller is fine, or just plain Miller. What I wanted to do is go ahead and walk you through this week's module. This is something that I will do every week in this semester, and I'll post it in the announcements on Monday. So that way you can kind of get a sense from me about what to expect for the week and kind of hear me talk through it a little bit. You can, sorry for the interruption there. The UPS carrier decided to distract my dogs. Anyway, so I will be posting these every Monday afternoon. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's in store for you this week. Again, this is the landing page for the course, so you can navigate to modules if you want, but I've tried to make it easy for you, and really all you need to do is click on this week's module. You'll see a little button that says redirect, and then it should take you automatically to the first page of the module, and here's our overview and objectives for the week. I kind of explain a little bit about what you can expect kind of in the big picture, and then I always try to provide a grid of dates of when things are due, as well as the point values. And again, if the point value of me even saying that raises questions for you, be sure to read the syllabus, and in particular the grading page of the syllabus. So you can see there are 20 points available this week, and the EC, which is extra credit, and there's one little extra credit for you. I try to give you 1 or 2 extra credit opportunities a week, and usually those are to kind of deepen the learning that we're doing during that week and in the class. They're totally optional, but if you find an extra credit that you're interested in, I would encourage you to do it. You may find it's helpful for you at the end of the semester. So, with that said, the beginning of this module is going to be a little bit different because it's our first week. So I'm giving you a lot of information about, hey, are you new to campus? Are you new to Canvas, to the LMC support resources? So you'll see quite a few pages here in the beginning that are just geared towards orientation. If you are already a Canvas user and you know all the ins and outs, you can skip that. If you have already used Pronto in your previous classes and you're already really familiar with it, you can skip that. I would encourage you, however, to post the GIF just because it's kind of funny. GIF, I don't know. But post that, try it out, give us all a laugh. Sometime during this first week, it's not really worth any points. It's more of a way to help you get acquainted with how to use Pronto in class because it is a way for me to be able to communicate with you quickly and also a way for you to communicate with me quickly. So that's just something a little bit fun. We are going to be using Google in this class, which basically means that when you're uploading your essays, you'll be submitting me or giving me a Google link to your Google Doc, giving me editing access so that all of the feedback that I give you will be done on your Google Doc. And we'll talk more about that once we get close to the essay. And then the student hours. So student hours, I have every week. I have Tuesdays from 12 to 2 on Zoom, and you can access that through this link, student hours. On Wednesday evenings from 7 to 8:30, I'll have them on Pronto. Excuse me. And then on Thursday from 9:30 to 11, also on Zoom. Okay. So I've also given you the dates and times here, as well as the direct links to make it easier for you. You don't need to make an appointment for these. You can just pop in anytime. And you can also just try to reach out to me via Pronto anytime you'd like, as well as email, which you can find in your inbox right over here. Okay. So the work of the class begins with a discussion board where I'm asking you to introduce yourself. You can do that a couple of different ways. You can do it with a little explanation, with an image, with a photo, with a video. It's really just a way for you to introduce yourself to me and to the class, including things like your pronouns, any nicknames, or what you prefer to be called. Anything that you think might be helpful, including your major, that kind of material. So totally up to you. And it's something that we all can kind of read and just get to know each other since we're going to be together for 16 weeks. All right. The course commitment is something that I assign every class. Sorry, my eye's watering. Every semester. Uh, it's just a way for you to kind of look at what your week is going to look like, right? So if you have my class, maybe you have poli sci and psych and bio, maybe you have a PE class, maybe you work, maybe you have other family responsibilities. So it's a way for you to kind of manage what your week will look like, generally speaking. Um, it's not something that I will give you feedback on necessarily. It's really just a tool for you um, to kind of get a sense of what your week is going to look like week to week in terms of your time. So I encourage you to fill it out as best you can. Really be true to yourself with the steps of going through the directions and really kind of thinking about where your time's going to go, right? Especially if you have primarily online classes, it can be really tricky to figure out where you're going to actually be doing the work of class. And so the course commitment might just kind of help you see where you might be able to be doing that. Again, where those are still kind of in the orientation pieces, this hypothesis is as well. If you have never used hypothesis before, then I encourage you to read through the basics page here. If you've used hypothesis, then this will just basically be a review. But what I'm asking you to do is annotate the syllabus. And our syllabus is hosted online via a Google site. So you actually need to go to the syllabus to be able to do this. Because there are some things that I do in this class that are a little bit different than what you may have experienced. And so I want to make sure that you're able to succeed in this class, in part because you also know how the class works. That includes things like late work and revising and the grading policy and accommodations and those kinds of things. So I want you to make sure that you've read through the syllabus and that you understand and that you have a chance to ask any questions. And that is not due until Sunday. I put an extra page in here of the grading policy just to reiterate how important it is that you read through that. Because you are not going to be receiving traditional grades in this class. And so I want to make sure that that's very clear to you. The other thing I wanted to highlight, see this? It says access that document here, right? So what I have created here is a point tracker for you in Google, in a Google Sheet. And when you click on this, it's going to prompt you to make a copy of it, which you should do. But this point tracker, you can track all of your points in this class from now until the end of the semester. You might wonder, you're like, well, Miller, why would I want to do that? Because Canvas does that. Well, Canvas does, but it can be really confusing to track yourself in Canvas if there aren't letter grades. And Canvas is based all on percentages and all of that, so it can be kind of confusing. This, I think, might make it a little bit easier for you. So it's here if you would like it. Next up are your writing goals. I think it's really important to kind of get a sense of what you want out of the class. You might say, well, Ms. Miller, look, I'm just here because I need to pass. Okay, I understand that, and you know what? That's absolutely valid. But my hope is that you have an additional goal for yourself, which might be just to become a better writer. We're in an era of writing, whether that's emails or texts or reports or, other kinds of assignments or longer pieces of writing. We're in a writing-based society. And so I think it's really important for all of us to improve our skills. And my hope is that in this class, even though it's called advanced composition, that just means taking what you already know and who you are as a writer and making that better. And hopefully making you more confident in that process. That's really my overall goal. But for me, I want to know what your goals are, right? What goals do you have set out for yourself? And that's essentially what this assignment is asking you to do. The writing territories. I love the writing territories. The writing territories, you read through this. They're due every week. You need to kind of understand what the requirements are. So make sure you read through this page. They are due every Friday by 7:59 p.m. or the grace period is Saturday at noon. Week to week, this week you will not have a mentor text, but beginning next week you will. And so, yeah, students at first, let me just be honest and say students at first do not like writing territories. And then sometimes maybe a third of the way into the semester, halfway, students start to love them. And by the end of the semester, I always have a handful of students who say, I'm going to continue doing these on my own. They are your bad piano. And if you don't know what I mean, go ahead and make sure you're reading through those pages. So your extra credit, whenever you see the EC, that means extra credit, right? And because the way that Canvas is set up, I have to kind of trick Canvas when I'm creating extra credit assignments. So these look really funky. For example, it says 0 points, and you see this page here where there's nothing here. I have to trick Canvas to do this. So there's always going to be a link that you have to follow to actually find the extra credit assignment. It's just what I have to do to make Canvas work in my favor. But here is your extra credit assignment. It is due by Sunday. There's no grace period with extra credit assignments, I figure, because they're extra credit. And this week is more of just kind of a fun meme for 2020 opportunity. And then that's it. Then you're at the week. Then you're at the kind of the end of the week, end of week 1. Take a deep breath. You made it. Next week, we will be starting essay number 1. So enjoy the first week of class. You're welcome to pop in during student hours, even if you just want to say hello or meet me, or maybe hear my dogs again talking to the UPS driver. But of course, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'm glad you're here, and if you need anything, feel free to let me know. Take care.